Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and today we're going to be heading down to CEX in Clapham Junction. Now, I've never been down to this particular branch before, so I've got no idea what to expect. Let's hope it's a good one. I've got a few vouchers in my pocket today, so yeah. So before we enter, if you like this kind of content, please take the time to consider subscribing, sharing the video, giving us a like, give us a comment, all that good stuff. It's always appreciated. So as always, we always check out the front window to see what kind of retro is in the window to try and lure customers in. Now, as you can see here, yeah, there's some good ones here, definitely with that Zelda on the 64. You've got Secret of Mana there as well. Nice copy of Resident Evil 3 there as well, and Nemesis. I never did finish that game back in the day. I finished the first two, but not that one. Now, I was considering picking up this GBA here, Game Boy Advance. I decided not to in the end. I've recently got one in similar condition about a week or two after, and it was £20 cheaper. So yeah, probably a win there for me. Now, my sons really like the Pac-Man Joy-Cons there. Very colourful, and yeah, they are aesthetically really pleasing, but no, not for me. We've got enough control pads and ways to play the Switch at home already. Now, we're seeing the PlayStation Portals now. In CEX in particular, they're coming down to their normal price, their RRP price, rather than scalping price. Right, so let's head on inside and see what this store has to offer. Upon walking in, you're met with the same stuff in the cabinets as always. However, I will say all of these consoles were in really good condition upon closer inspection. So yeah, high hopes so far. That blue Xbox One, it is really nice. If I needed an Xbox One in the house, I would definitely consider picking that one up. At that price as well, $105, I don't think that's too bad. It's a really nice colour, and I think it would look great in anyone's game room. Now, this is a colour you don't see too often, or at least I don't anyway, out and about, that gold and black mixture for the Xbox. Now, whatever branch of CEX you go, if you're looking for a Nintendo Switch or a Nintendo Switch Lite, you're definitely in the right place. Every branch has got tons of them in stock. It's the same with the PS4 and all the Xboxes. If you want that particular console, they're going to have you taken care of. Now, I really like this 2DS here. Now, I'm not a fan of the 2DS in general. I don't like the fact that it doesn't fold. But the colour scheme on that one, yeah, quite nice, but not £110. Not for me anyway. Now, there's a few more PlayStations here, PS4 Pros. Now, I don't think this one is coming across as well as it should on the camera, but this PlayStation, absolutely lovely. The Last of Us there, the PS4, I think it's a Pro. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I'm sure someone will. But nevertheless, regardless whether it's a Pro or your standard PS4, it was absolutely gorgeous. So let's head on down and have a look at some loose cartridge stuff here. Now, that Zelda, I remember having that as a kid when we had an NES. Who knew how kind of sought after that would be? Nice copy of Street Fighter Alpha there. I was considering picking that one up, but I've got so many variants of Street Fighter. I think that would have been a bit of a waste of my money or my voucher. Solid selection of Mega Drive games here. Last Crusade there as well. Super Star Wars, we're starting to see that one a lot more often out and about in your retro game shops and your CEXs, as far as I see. Headhunter there on the Dreamcast, £20. Now that game on the PS2 and the Xbox is like £1, and to my knowledge I don't think it's really any different, is it? Okay, so let's head on over to the Xbox 360 section. Now at this time, the 360, we all know the Xbox 360 store will be coming to a close fairly soon, and for that reason a lot of prices have been hiking up in CEX. Now, The Bourne Conspiracy, not a game I've ever really considered until a channel I watched, the Retro Ghetto. If you haven't already, check him out. Mentioned this game, he picked it up, and I think he played it and said it was pretty good. And at that price, that's one I'm going to consider today. Got Kane and Lynch 2. I really enjoyed the first Kane and Lynch, so much so that I asked for Kane and Lynch 2 as a present. Yeah, don't ask me why that was there. Yeah, Kane and Lynch 2, I finished it in like 4 hours. It's such a disappointment when I bought that game. Now this is a Kinect title I personally don't see out too often. I have no use for the Kinect anymore. It's still sitting around somewhere at home, and yeah, I know there's a few people out there that really adore it. It's got its cult fans. No, not for me. The whole concept was brilliant. It was just poorly executed. Now, as you can see here, there's nothing really that stands out on the 360 today. It's a lot of your generic stuff that you see at boot sales, and you know, the stuff that's filler that fills up the majority of CEX shelves. Which is always disappointing because the 360 is a system I love collecting for. On a similar note, a system I love collecting for is the Nintendo Switch. For me, it's been the best console, or the one I've most enjoyed since, let's say, the Xbox 360. I had a fantastic time with the PlayStation 4. Kind of fell out of love with it a little bit towards the end, but upon buying it, I thought it was the best console that I'd ever played. At this stage in time, I'll probably change my mind on that. Now, we know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and that's the reason the system sold so poorly in its lifespan, and there's a lot of reasons as to why that happened, but we're not going to go into that here. But I love collecting for the Wii U. It's an oddball system if you ask me, and I don't know, maybe I think it's going to raise its value in certain years to come. I don't know, it might. At the moment, it's a good time to buy it if you intend on playing the games, because they really are dirt cheap. There are some heavy hitters, of course, out there, but compared to other systems, not so much. Now onto the Wii, a system that really doesn't hold much value in its games library. I mean, if you go through the CEX app and have a look from the most expensive games to the cheapest games all the way down, you'll see really quickly how the price drops from quite high to moderate, and then you know, your £5, £6 games and so on, and even lower. Nevertheless, there's some gems in and amongst the Wii library, so you've always got to scout it and have a look, dig deep and see what you find. Now, I've never seen this one before. Ninja Reflex. I did consider picking this up for the small price of, I think it's £1.50 or £1. But I've just got visions of my crazy kids flinging that Joy-Con, even with the strap attached, through my window. Wii Sports Tennis is a health and safety risk in my house. I remember having this game. It was £25 or £28 when I picked it up. I took it back within 2 days. Yeah, I lost a few pound on it, but it really wasn't for me. So I think I definitely put the voucher that I received in return to a much better use. Or it's possible I didn't give the game a chance. Nevertheless, I don't have the time on my hands to do so. And again, it's a similar theme here. There's a lot of games here that you know you're going to see in pretty much every branch of CEX that you go to. One or two maybe different that I've been highlighting as I've been going through and pointing the camera out a little bit more directly, but nothing I wanted to pick up on the day. It's always a good day if you manage to pick up one or two titles for your Switch. It doesn't look like that's going to be happening today, I'm afraid. Now, the OG Xbox, the selection is getting smaller in every branch I go to. There's some that still have large stock, but you know, it's really in limited numbers. And the GameCube as well, it's very rare that you see large sections of GameCube stuff. However, the PS3 is the total opposite. One of the best selling systems of all time. Definitely, it's going to have multiple games in stock, and it will suffer with those games that you know are going to be there. But again, it's all about digging in and finding what you can. Games that you haven't heard of before. There's no way that I've heard of every PS3 game, especially the PAL releases, and I highly doubt all of you have. So yeah, when you're in here, dig deep, see what you can find. You never know, you might find a bargain. Now, I don't care what anyone says, for 50p, that Pro Evo up there, that's great entertainment. One of the games that me and my friends, we used to play that a hell of a lot, and there was a lot of friendly arguments, shall we say, and bruised ribs from elbows that used to come during the game. Yeah, that was always accidental though. Yeah. Battle Axe there, fantastic game, that one. I've got it on the Switch. I'm sure it runs exactly the same on the PS4. I don't believe it to be the most demanding of games, but yeah, really good game. If you see that, even if you see it on sale in a digital shop, pick it up. I think that's how I got it, and I got it for something like £2. But I would not hesitate to pick it up at the £12 I believe it to be sold for a physical copy. In fact, I might even consider picking that up down the line. That Gang Beasts, everywhere I go I see that game. I played it on the PlayStation Network, where you get the games that you can either stream or download. It's one of the worst titles I've ever played. but yeah, it really holds some kind of value. What am I missing here, guys, with that Gang Beasts? The AEW game now gone down to £12. Now I like the cover of this, but upon looking at the back, really doesn't look like my sort of game, so not going to be buying that one today. Oh, there's Bluey. Now that's the title I need to pick up at some point, the latest God of War. Haven't got that in the collection yet. I think I'm definitely going to wait for it to go down to a reasonable price. I'm in no rush for it. I've got a ton of games to play on the backlog, but it's one I think I need in the collection nevertheless. Sonic Superstars there. I keep saying I need to play that a lot more, and yeah, hopefully I will get round to it at some point. It's not the best Sonic game, but it's far from the worst. Farming Simulator there. I was playing the Commodore 64 version of that only a few nights ago via my Evercade, and it was an interesting experience, let's say that much. Now the Xbox Series section of games, they tend to be a lot cheaper than their PlayStation counterparts, so I'm always having a look here. Some of the games are so cheap that I believe it to be a console that is worth collecting for, despite the success of Game Pass. And Deadpool continues to rise in price on practically every system. I think the PS4 version at the moment is £65. So I didn't pick a great deal up today, but I did go ahead and pick up that Bourne Conspiracy. Picked up a copy of Heavenly Sword on the PS3, which I've been wanting for a while, and the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which I've been saying in a few of my previous videos. I've been looking to get back into Gears of War and start from the beginning, and what better way to do so than with the Ultimate Edition. Anyway guys, as always, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of the Clapham Junction branch. Have you been there before? Is it your local? Is there anything I saw that you think that I should have been picking up today? I always enjoy hearing your points of view. Until then guys, I'll see you on the next video, and in the meantime, take the time to check out some of my gameplay videos, and I've got plenty more game hunts in store. 3 or 4 ready to go, and the next one will be up next Monday. Take care.